What do you want listeners, especially fellow workers, to take away from your stories? I think I just kind of want to give like a balanced breakdown of what it's really like to work in customer service, the good and the bad and the ugly, I guess. There's going to be, look, I'm not going to lie, there's going to be a lot of negativity in this. Hopefully there'll be some positivity. I've tried to kind of push forward the good parts of it, as well. But yeah, I think that I want listeners to just gain an understanding. If you've never worked in customer service, maybe this will be a good eye-opening experience for you. For fellow workers, I guess it's that feeling of relatability. There'll be people listening to this, watching this, going, "Oh yeah, no, that's my life," or that was my life. And I guess I just want to say, like, you're not alone, and to hang in there. It can get better. So, yeah. What's the hardest part about working in customer service? I think that really depends. I mean, in my experience, people make the place. If you've got a good team and a good manager, a good set of managers, then the only thing you're really dealing with is difficult customers. If you've got that kind of team where you're close-knit and, you can rely on each other, you don't even have to be friends necessarily. But if there's respect and you can rely on each other and trust each other, you're going to be fine. You can kind of deal with anything. And look, especially when it comes to working bar, working in a restaurant, whatever, if it's hospitality, customers are very tough in that environment. Because when I worked in retail, like, you could kind of get away from it. I could do things like make an excuse and go to the back, go to the warehouse. I could get away from these people. When it's front of house, when it's working in a bar or a restaurant, you can't really get away from those people. Like, you can try and hang out in the kitchen for a bit, but like, your place is on the floor, serving people, in front of people. You're the face of the business. And, sometimes there's that old expression, I hate it so much, kill them with kindness. Like, try to just be overtly nice when someone's being so rude and abusive to you. And I've tried it to varying degrees over the years. Some people feel bad and apologize. Most people just get even more aggressive. I just try to match people's energy, really, and be polite, but not take crap from people. But yeah, it's been a mixed bag. I've had some fantastic managers. I've had managers that made my life a living hell and, made every single day miserable. There's been times when I've like dreaded coming into work because of people I've had to work with or work for. So that's a big part of it. When it comes to customers, like, most people are fine, so you're not worried about, like, if every customer is horrible, then it would be, you'd always be anxious, right? But most people are pretty reasonable and decent, and many of them have worked in customer service, so they get it, or they're just respectful human beings. So it's probably like 1 in 10 that's going to be difficult, right? And you can kind of sense it when it's gonna happen. Like, there's a shift in the energy. The way they act, their body language, everything just suggests problem person. Obviously, that can be to varying degrees. Sometimes people have had a bad day, There's been times when I've seen someone's clearly agitated and annoyed, but they're not annoyed at me, they're just annoyed at the situation. And you try to just be like respectful and sympathetic, right? Then there's people that take things out on you like it's all your fault. And I don't accept that. Even if it is our fault, there's a way to go about things. I'm still a human being. I deserve respect. I don't deserve abuse, and I won't take it. And I don't think anyone should in customer service. That's always been a contention point for me with managers over the years that expect you to just deal with that. I'm like, no, if you expect me to deal with abuse, I will walk out. Like, I'm not paid to be abused. I'm paid to deliver customer service. Let's make that abundantly clear. But that would be the hardest thing, I would say. The hardest aspect of working in customer service is the people, because they can make or break the situation. Other than that, there's other things like, if you're understaffed, you're doing the work of more people, and that is quite Like, you know it's happening and you know how it should be, and there's more pressure, and obviously you get more complaints because things aren't happening the way they should be, but there's nothing you can do about it. And that's a time when you begin to see that, like, people can be really unsympathetic when they can see that you're struggling and can see that you're understaffed, and yet they still decide to be really mean. Like, what do you do with that? How do you deal with that? Like, I don't know, but it is what it is.